Vice Chair,
Yes.
Mrs. Hibiscus,
Yes.
Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes. Next, I'll make a motion to seal the closed session minutes of June 24, 2026. Do we have a second?
Second?
Second by Mrs. Costa. Dr. McGee, roll call.
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke,
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus,
Yes.
Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes. I just want to report that on a 4-0 vote, the committee decided not to pursue an appeal of an unemployment decision. Would you please join me in standing for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll begin this evening with good and welfare. For anyone addressing the school committee this evening, please begin with your name and address. Your comments shall be no more than 5 minutes of speaking time and should be in good decorum. Please be aware that the committee cannot respond to you during good and welfare, but may direct you to an appropriate member of the administration team or may meet with you directly after the meeting for further discussion. Do we have anyone that would like to address the school committee this evening?
I'm back. Mr. Mike, 24th year, Woonsocket Ed Department employee, 13th year in kindergarten. I don't know what Kool-Aid you guys been drinking, but I have no clue who thought is the best idea to eliminate 16 kindergarten paraprofessionals. Furthermore, I was just on School Spring last night because I don't know how much more longer I can tolerate this. But Providence Public Schools, who also has dire needs like Woonsocket, has kindergarten paraprofessionals, not part-time, full-time, at my former elementary school, Lillian Feinstein Sackett Street School, where I couldn't apply to. This is my 30th year working with kids. I have invested in this district, and I have invested in the kids. And I would hope at the end of the day that the Woonsocket School Committee and Dr. McGee will reinstate every single kindergarten para that you just eliminated. Or better yet, why don't all your directors, Dr. McGee, come the first day of school, take our place? Guess what? You all won't even last 5 minutes in our kindergarten classrooms. I'm not done yet.
Please refrain from threatening us.
No threats.
Well, it sounded like
After
one,
24
so-
years working in the city's public schools, including...
Excuse me. Keep it with good decorum, because
This is
we
good
want to hear what
decorum.
you have to say.
This is good decorum. We can agree to disagree. After 24 years of working in the city's public schools, including the last 13 years in kindergarten, Mr. Mike was blindsided again when the position was eliminated. At our most recent job fair, I asked Human Resource Director Sharon Kitchen, can you please let all these paraprofessionals know in kindergarten what's going on with Kay? She says, this is not the time or place. Well, here I am. This district brings more problems that we don't need. You guys have lost so many teachers and paraprofessionals. It's only a matter of time before I get my resignation letter and hit the road. I haven't done that yet because I care about these kids. Furthermore, have you seen what we get paid in our paycheck? We are the least paid in this district, and you can't find the funds. Furthermore, I don't know how you can sleep at night knowing come the first day of school with nothing set in place in these kindergarten classrooms, it's going to be a catastrophe, a disaster waiting to happen. I'm at a loss for words because it's getting to be same crap, different day, different year, pardon my French, but this is getting to be, for me, just sleepless nights. I'm up on School Spring saying, do I stay or do I go? And the reason why I haven't left many years ago, because I care so much about these, because I think they're my own kids. They don't have a voice at 5 years old. I am their advocate, and I will continue on advocating into this equity for all kids, including kindergarten. Thank you so much, and one love, and I'm out.
Thank you.
Good evening, Estelle Bubble, 648 3rd Avenue, Woonsocket, Rhode Island. 4th generation living in the same area. I also want to say, Mr. Mike is right. We need to do more for our kids, and taking away, if you can't afford it, let's do fundraisers. Or let's all go and tell Ride something else, because this whole city is running on grants for everything, and it's never going to survive, ever, because people can't afford anything anymore. Not the council, and neither the school. So I would go with whoever is going up there and voice our opinion and tell Ride, you know what? You're not on our side. Even the governor, you're not on our side. You know what? He might not even win this election. Let's hope not. But we need to do better for our kids and not just release the teachers. The teachers take so much. And I know I was at the cafeterias on some schools, and I see what the teachers go through. In the schoolyard, I see it. And I'm sure it got worse. We need to do better for our students. And if, like I said, if you want to do a fundraiser, that's what they used to do years ago. My brother even remembered one that was at Barry Field. There was a circus there when they needed money for the seniors. But we need to come up with something. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Is there anyone else who wants to address the school committee?
Hello, Melissa Bubble, 650 3rd Avenue, Woonsocket. Apparently, I can no longer come to these and not speak. I don't have anything pre-written. However, I did speak to Dr. McGee today on some issues and some suggestions. I do agree that I think we can do better as the city of Woonsocket, not just our schools, but I think that we need to look at other avenues instead of just waiting for free money to just fall in our laps. We have heard the same broken story, the same broken record, that there's no funding, we need to cut, there's no funding, we need to cut. And then we have a new school that has yet to surprise me, because there's a bunch of issues I have brought up about said new elementary school that I'm concerned about. Even though my children may not be going there, I'm concerned for the other students that will be going there. I've said before that I do work and have worked with autistic kids. I know the behaviors of ADHD kids, ADD kids, and so on and so forth. And the design of the new elementary school does concern me for those students. I am concerned about where Woonsocket is going in general, and I do speak at the city council meetings about this as well. I think we can do better, and I think being divided, which currently it seems like that between the city council and school committee, as well as the parents with the schools as well. I speak to bring awareness to parents to come here, to come to the city council meetings, and I am doing my best at that point. I have now been an advocate for all parents. When something is not going right, they come to me, and I do my best to direct them to the proper place. The thing that I keep hearing on my end is the parents don't feel heard at the school level, and then they've just exhausted and don't want to come here because they feel like if they're not being heard at the schools, they're not going to be heard by you guys. And I disagree. I do think that they should still try. I certainly am going through something very challenging, Dr. McGee, you know about, and hopefully I can have that resolved. And I speak to all parents that you guys need to come to these meetings, not just to speak, but maybe to listen. You guys do give updates when you can. And I think the line of communication has been broken for quite some time now. And I think we need to fix that. And I hope that people can see this and hear me tonight and come more to these meetings. Public comment starts at 7, and bring your kids. My kids are here tonight. If you don't have a sitter, bring your kids. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Seeing and hearing none, we'll go to recognitions and announcements. Dr. McGee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I have two recognitions that I'd like to share with the committee and the community this evening. The first is the 2026 Woonsocket High School Baseball Championship. With consecutive state championships and an undefeated season, the Woonsocket High School baseball team established themselves among the most accomplished teams in recent Rhode Island school baseball history. Their perfect run showcased outstanding pitching, timely hitting, and a team-first approach that carried Woonsocket to another title as the Division III champions. Congratulations to our amazing student athletes and our amazing coaches on not one, but two consecutive Division III Rhode Island state championships. So congratulations to them.
Outstanding.
My next recognition is the 2026 Providence Journal's Unified Athlete of the Year. Woonsocket High School graduate Jamie Chapman Jr. has been named the 2026 Providence Journal Unified Athlete of the Year. Known for his dedication and positive spirit, Jamie exemplified the values of unified sports, representing Woonsocket High School with pride. His impact extended far beyond competition, earning the respect of coaches, classmates, and the broader community. Jamie was formally recognized for his prestigious achievement during the Providence Journal All-State Awards ceremony held on June 18th at the Providence Performing Arts Center. Congratulations to Jamie on this well-deserved honor. Best wishes to Jamie as he embarks on the next chapter, and we wish him great success with his future endeavors. And Jamie is here this evening, so I am going to, and the committee, along with Coach Stephen Robidoux and Athletic Director Ms. G, are going to present Jamie with a plaque and a certificate.
That's great stuff.
With Nancy? Giordano? Yep. Maybe if everyone wants to squeeze in at a good picture.
Great job. Well done.
Or maybe not. If everyone wants to squeeze in. Nancy?
Go right in there. Yeah, right in the middle, right in the middle. Up on the wires. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay.
Good job. Yeah. There you go. Stop right there. There we go. Oh, your face. You can see your face.
Tell them to, Nancy. Squeeze in.
We'll get that. Let's fix it.
Oh, Alan.
Still good.
What are you planning for the summer?
Don't spit on it.
Sorry, Ken. Just like this. Like this? Right there.
All right, we're in business.
You're good, Jamie.
Are you really doing the peace sign? Put those fingers away.
Outstanding.
You're very welcome. What an amazing kid he is.
Isn't he? Yeah.
Oh, look.
Gotta have fun sometimes, Kim. Come on.
The recognitions.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
She told me I had to put my piece on now.
Okay, I'll make a motion to receive and place on file the recognitions and announcements. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, I'll make a motion to approve the June 10th, 2026 open meeting minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Dr. McGee, roll call.
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke,
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus,
Yes.
Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Next, I'll make a motion to discuss and approve the consent agenda. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Does anyone want to address any item within the consent agenda?
Nope.
Dr. McGee?
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke,
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus,
Yes.
Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Do you want to hold until they're done, or you want to just go?
Just
Keep going. Yeah,
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
Good.
Dr. McGee, I'll ask you to give us your superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So my personnel matters update, as you can see, in your folder, the WED has been busy. We've filled two full-time speech language pathologist positions for the district. We also have many of our extended school year staff that we have hired. We offer a pretty robust extended school year program for our students that have extended school year written into their IEPs. We have some leaves of absence. We have some retirements. We have a few separations, and we have some corrections there. So we're working hard. We just conducted the district job selection fair recently, and you'll see here in this spreadsheet there is there's a section where it says rescissions, and those are folks that have been recalled to positions after the completion of the job fair. So that's how that works. So it's people who were laid off, but there were positions that were still open after upon the completion of the job fair, and they have been recalled to those positions.
Okay, great.
Be happy to answer any questions the committee may have at this time.
Any comments or
I
questions?
don't know, were any of those positions, those kindergarten?
Would you speak
So-
to the mic? There we go.
So no, they're not.
Okay.
But when Mr. Perrier does his financial update, we'll talk a little bit about that at that point, Mr. Burke.
Good, thank
That's
you.
great. Anyone else?
Mhm.
Then I'll make a motion to receive and place on file the superintendent's report. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, we'll go into the school subcommittee reports. Today, the finance subcommittee met, and we discussed basically items that are on our agenda, including the financial update and the upcoming budget. And so we're going, we'll just defer to Mr. Perrier once we get to that item. So I would expect that we would just hold questions and comments once he goes through both those items. So I'll make a motion to receive and place on file the financial update. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Leclerc. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, I'll ask Ms. Morel to give us the special education update.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In front of you is some information that I received from my IDEA grant. Every June, as I prepare for the next school year, we have to rewrite the grant, and the information in the grant gives us indicators on how we did the years prior. The information in front of you, it is 2 years behind, so it's not exactly last year's information. It's
Okay.
how the grant is written, how they give me the information. However, a few minutes ago, I just went back to see where we were before the pandemic. So the information that they're giving me for this grant from 2 years ago, the graduation rate with students with disabilities, it was 65% graduated, and that was a decrease from prior to that was 82% when we did this last year. However, when I took a look at pre-pandemic, in 2017, it was 41.3% of students with disabilities graduated, and in 2018, it was 47.4%. So we are doing better than before the pandemic, but there's always a lot of room for improvement. For dropout rates with students with disabilities, we're at 26%. It is an increase from 9%. Pre-pandemic, we were at 17.8% in 2017 of students with IEPs that had dropped out. And in 2018, we were at 23.7%. So again, there is room for improvement, and we're working on that all the time. The next indicator that they gave us information on is our post-secondary outcome responses. This is from last year's information. So students that have graduated the year prior, our teachers reach out to them the following June to see what they're doing, if they're in post-secondary education, if they're employed, if they are in a work program, just kind of if they're engaged or if they're not doing anything at all. So we were able to get responses from 73% of our students exceeding the state average. The state average of responses was 59%. So we were able to reach more of our students. Mr. Robidoux, who is just here, does a phenomenal job every June reaching out to all of the students that have graduated the year prior to get as many responses back as possible. So that just completed for this current school year. The next set of outcomes that we're looking at are preschool outcomes. So the first section are students that entered our pre-K program below age expected expectations and showed substantial growth by the time they aged out of our pre-K programs. So the first section is positive social emotional skills, including social relationships. The state average of students making substantial growth is 74%. Our district rate is 60%, which is an increase from last year. The next section is acquisitions using and the use of knowledge and skills, including communication and early literacy. The state average is 34% that have made growth. We're at 32%, so we're right below the state average with that. The next section is the use of appropriate behaviors to meet needs. The state average is at 49% that has made substantial growth, and our students are at 49% as well. So we're right with the state average with that. The next section of information that they give us for indicators is our child outreach screening. I know Heather Martley was here a few weeks back talking about our pre-K programs. Part of that is also our screenings for students that turn 3, 4, and 5. Before they come into school, we need to screen we try to get 100%. We never quite get there, but we try our hardest to get there. So the first section is our students 3 years before entering K, so our 3-year-olds. The state average is 15% of the 3-year-olds that have screened. Our percentage is 11%. The students that are 4-year-olds, 2 years before kindergarten, the state average is 45%. We're at 38%. And then 1 year from kindergarten, the state average is 59%, and our average is 66%. We do better with screening the kids right before they go into kindergarten. As soon as they register, our child outreach screeners reach out to the parents and try to get them in the door so that we can get them prepared for K before they start. The next section is the amount of our pre-K students that are receiving their special ed services and related services in a regular early childhood program. So like our Head Starts, our integrated classrooms, the state average is at 57%. This is an area where we excel in, and we have for the last couple of years. Our district average is 70% of our students are in an integrated pre-K program or in a Head Start program where we go out and service the students within the classroom. So they're with typical developing peers and making progress. After that is the special education enrollment numbers. The numbers did not change at all from the last time I reported out. They're the same numbers. We haven't had much movement between the last day of school and now. We are starting to get students that are registering in other districts, moving out of Woonsocket, but also going into Rise Prep, Beacon, and Founders. So once the numbers, we have our next update, I can report out on the numbers accurately then.
Okay.
Any questions?
Anything for her, from Ms. Morel?
We're good.
Then I'll make a motion to receive and place on file a special education update. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Next, I'll ask Mr. Perrier to give us the financial update.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In front of the school committee this evening is the April 2026 fiscal update. We're going to start with fiscal year 26 first. Then we'll move on to a discussion about fiscal year 27. On the fiscal year 26 side, as far as the revenues go, there was a 4% increase asked for from the city of Woonsocket for fiscal year 26, and it was only funded at $150,000. This led to a decrease in budgeted local revenues of $519,000 compared to budget. 3% increase to the student success factor, which is a component of the state funding formula, was not approved by the General Assembly in June. This led to a decrease in budgeted state revenues of $1.469 million. And due to the higher than anticipated billings, Medicaid revenue is projected to be over budget by $2.2 million. As a reminder to the school committee, you did approve a transfer of $1.97 million from our medical pooling account to stabilize the revenue shortfalls and expenditure overages for this fiscal year. Overall, the general fund is projecting a revenue overage of $1.99 million. On the expenditure side, all regular salaries are $2.08 million under budget at this time. When netted with the employee turnover allowance of $1.35 million, this will put the overall salary $730,000 under budget. Medical expenses are currently $2.08 million under budget. There has been a slight increase over the prior month. We're up about $200,000 when we compare to what we were looking at in March. We'll continue to keep an eye on this as we get to the end of the fiscal year. And as a reminder, school committee does have about $1 million in OPEB funding that we can fall back on if we do get into a jam as we close out this fiscal year. Overages and purchase services are due to us being unable to fill some budgeted salary positions. We've adjusted salary encumbrances down to offset the hiring of these purchase services. Personal care attendants have been difficult to fill this year. We currently have overages of about $1.3 million in that line item. Out-of-district tuitions are also $279,000 over budget. I've said this a few times. Special ed has done a tremendous job this year as far as doing their best to control expenses when it's possible and when it's still beneficial to the children. Because really, at the end of the day, we're not looking to go cheap here, but we are looking to be as cost effective as we can when it comes to out of district placements. Transportation is currently $802,000 over budget. This is higher due to higher expenses for transportation. We're really getting killed this year on the statewide transportation. The cost is gone through the roof. I know there's still a lot of discussion about overhauling statewide transportation in general, and I look forward to continued conversations there because I think there's some serious money that can be saved from the Woonsocket Education Department if that area is addressed going forward. District is currently $917,000 over budget on tuitions to charter schools, and we've talked about this a couple of times. We did not qualify for the additional clawback for mayoral academies this fiscal year. This increase rise press payments from $500,000 last year to about $1.4 million this year. At the time, many expenses related to technology and capital improvements are still in the general fund. As we close out this year, if a little more flexibility is needed in the general fund, we may transfer some of those expenses out to our technology and our capital funds. And currently, we are projecting a $75,000 surplus at this time. So I'm going to open it up for any questions on fiscal year 26 right now. If anyone has any questions, I'd love to answer them now, and we'll move on to fiscal year 27 after this.
As I noted in the Finance Committee session today, that we're showing basically a break even for fiscal 26 of 75,000 or so. But these numbers are as of April. We still have 2 months to go.
Correct.
So that we have to monitor very closely because things could change with the encumbrances and what actual,
Absolutely. That's what we'll be working on as we move into the summer. We're going to be wrapping up what we can as far as purchases goes, get purchase orders closed out, get payroll fully accrued and on the books journal entry wise, and hopefully our numbers will hold up as we continue our closeout.
Okay. Any questions?
So let me
we
talk
wanna
about the fiscal.
continue?
Yeah. So fiscal year 2027.
Next.
Yeah, there's two big items I like to highlight. The first is Rhode Island Department of Education has awarded the statewide food service contract to Chartwell's earlier this month. We are currently finalizing a contract to be executed on 7/1, and the details of the contract will be shared at the next school committee meeting. As you may recall, we did move to the statewide contract on our last renewal cycle, and this is the continuation of that process. The bid is handled totally at the state level. It's evaluated at the state level, and the vendor is selected at the state level. And we just hitch along for the ride right now. To give you kind of a perspective, I believe there's 33 districts that are on the statewide contract right now. So it seems that a lot of people are kind of taking advantage of this program, of this running of a RFP that RIDE does, and kind of linking onto that. So as I get that contract finalized, I will share it with you so you can see what's happening. There'll be a contract guarantee like there is every year since we've done this, and I can certainly share those details as I receive them over the next couple of weeks.
Are you expecting an increase in that contract?
Not sure exactly where. Well, here's the thing with the contract. That contract has a guarantee in it that we're going to make a certain amount of money. So as far as the food service goes, it's never an expense to the Woonsocket Education Department.
Okay.
We always make more money through federal reimbursements. Once you factor in federal reimbursements and the paying of the vendor, we're still going to come out on top. And the vendor actually guarantees that, because if they don't hit that number, and there's been a few times in my career here where the food service company has not hit that number, they actually cut us a check to get us to that number. So it's 100% no risk at all, the contract as far as this goes. We have a guaranteed number, and that number goes back into the district. That number pays for lunch monitors, and the excess pays for the lunch monitors. The excess pays for repairs to the cafeteria as far as the equipment goes, basic maintenance in the kitchens. So we take that surplus and we end up turning it right back into the school and keeping things running.
Do you record that surplus as part of revenues, or do you just net it against the expenditures as we go along?
No, it's part of revenues, but it's not handled in the general fund. It's handled in the nutrition fund, totally outside of the general fund's purview. A lot of federal guidelines in regards to federal money, the nutrition reimbursement. So we have to keep it kind of apart from the general fund, has its own bank account.
Sure.
So that's number one. Number two is
That's more.
we have received some information on the fiscal year 27 budget. There's three major components right now that we're kind of dealing with. The first is the city has finalized their budget. So we'll be picking up $150,000 from the city of Woonsocket going into next year. That is $524,000 less than what we are anticipating. So I'm going to have to make an adjustment to our local revenue line to the amount of $17,016,330. That will be the first adjustment that I'm going to make. And that's going to cut $524,000 out of the budget. The state aid was updated. It was increased. We've netted a little over $2 million over what we were budgeting. And the other major item has to do with the clawback. And I know I talked about us losing on the clawback in 26. Well, 27, the clawback has come back. So now we'll be looking to save about $500,000 over what I've previously budgeted. As you may recall, we did budget it very conservatively because we were unsure if we were going to get that clawback.
Right.
Now that things have been finalized at the state level as far as the budget goes, and these numbers have been finalized as far as our budget, we can now kind of claim that $500,000 and put that back into the pool. So right now we're looking at about a $2 million increase over what you approved at the end of May for the 27 budget. At this time, we're going to sit down with administration. I'm sit down with administration. We're going to all come together and we're going to have conversations about what we can potentially call back from what we had to cut to get this 27 budget balanced. Now, I just want to throw out that $2 million seems like a lot of money. We're not going to be able to recall everything that we lost. And I think I need to be upfront and clear with everybody on that there's just not enough money to bring all this back. We're still, even with this increase in revenue, we're still not at the revenue level we are this year. So next year we have to deal with all the raises. There's a lot of increased expense going into next year. So while the $2 million is certainly going to be helpful, and I think it's going to take some pressure off of some things as we move forward with the budget, I think I need to make it crystal clear that we're not going to be recalling all the 30 plus positions that were closed. That's just not going to happen. It's not fiscally feasible now. And, but we do have some runway and we do have some decisions that we now need to make. We're going to discuss those decisions over the summer. And the first meeting in August, I'm going to have back in front of the school committee a finalized FY27 budget that will incorporate that $2 million in increased, both increases in revenue and decreases in budgeted expense. And we'll have a finalized budget for you at that meeting. And that's my 27 update right now.
Mr. Perrier, are we expecting any categorical revenue that could be down, could be floating around?
Categorical is now part of the general fund. That was changed a couple of years ago, so it's just part of our general fund
So
now.
there's no other monies expected
No.
at this point?
At this point, no. Just to know one thing to kind of talk about that, if you talk about other funding sources, we are working through our budgets for fiscal year 27 for the CRP and for IDEA. So that's Title I, Title II, Title III, IDEA pre-K. We're working through those. Those are just as tight as the general fund. So I think there's going to be some additional discussion over the summer about, hey, we can't fund this through our grant now. Maybe we need to talk about something we can pull back into the general fund for that. And that just comes right off of the $2 million there. And it's really another loss of funding if you look at it, because again, we can't support what's in there. So we're going to have to make some decisions on that as well.
Vice Chair Burke, did you have some
Yeah,
comments?
just a quick question. Is there any prediction on federal money for next year? Are we going to lose some? Are we?
So we're starting with, we still don't know. They're still working through the budget at the federal level. We have estimates in right now that have come from the Rhode Island Department of Education on, hey, this is what you should be doing. But I'll be honest, those numbers are not finalized yet. And we saw what happened last year. There was a huge delay in federal funding, and we're getting kind of down to the wire here again. July 1st is right around the corner. So your guess, Mr. Vice Chair, is kind of as good as mine right now. So what we do is monitor the situation. And as we have concrete information, we move forward with what we have and we do the best we can with it.
Good, thank you.
Dr. McGee, you have any thoughts on
I'm
27?
just curious if any other members of the committee have any comments or
Mr.
questions
Fiskus
before
or
I.
Ms. Costa? Mr. Leclerc?
So I would say, I would start by saying we're very fortunate that that the governor's final budget provided us with an increase, because if we didn't get that increase, we wouldn't be in a position to potentially bring back any of the positions that were cut. I want to make sure that everyone understands this. If we were not provided with the additional funds from the state, RIDE, the governor, we wouldn't be in a position to recall any positions. That's number one. So we do get a lot of support from the Department of Education. As Mr. Perrier spoke about the $150,000 from the city, this is where we need an increase. So make no mistake about it. The funding formula is broken. I think many people agree with that. There's a commission that's looking at it. I don't know what's going to come from that, but we are yearly bailed out by the state when it comes to our budget. So I want to make sure that gets out to the community. For anyone that's listening, that's important to understand. We, as Mr. Perrier said, we're going to be looking at, based off of this increase in funding from the state, we're going to be looking at the positions that were eliminated. Because again, don't forget, we have to submit a budget to the committee in the spring, and the governor's final budget isn't approved until now. So we unfortunately, in the position that we're in, we have to make cuts, and I want the community to know that they're not just frivolous. I don't just wake up one day and say, well, I think I'm going to cut this or I'm going to cut that. This year, as is the case every year we've been in this position, we make cuts across the board. We make cuts administratively, secretarially, programmatically, and it isn't something that we enjoy doing, but we have to provide a balanced budget. Now, we have prioritized those positions that have been cut. And when we have a better sense of our federal funding, because some of the positions that were cut are federally funded. They're funded through Title I. And it doesn't help when the government cuts our federal funding in cases. We rely heavily on Title I funds, very heavily. And we can't lose sight of that. So if we're not funded appropriately locally, if there's a cut in funding federally, we've got to somehow make that up. And as Mr. Perrier said, when we have Title I cuts, there are times we have to go into the local budget, the general our general funds that are not our title federally funded sources of funds. We have to go into that. So it's a very challenging balancing act. But I can tell you that we are looking at what positions we will be able to bring back. We've prioritized them. I know that there's a concern about early childhood paraprofessionals. I can tell, while I can't guarantee you what's going to come back, I can tell you that they're at the top of the priority list, because we do understand the need for early childhood paraprofessionals. And it feels like we kind of went through this last year. And as Mr. Perrier said, we had to wait until the start of the school year to find out what we were going to get from the federal government. So, I wish we could make decisions in the spring and say, this is exactly what we're going to have, and not have to worry about the funding. But the reality, whether people want to come to this realization or not, is there is a funding issue here. We're not just looking to cut stuff because we feel like cutting stuff. It's not what we're doing. I would also say that we have regular finance, Woonsocket Education Department finance subcommittee meetings where we talk about these things. I would encourage members of the community to go to those meetings. They're published on our website. They're published through my newsletter. You know, that's where you're going to really hear, in addition to Mr. Perrier's finance reports each meeting, that's where you're going to really hear about this information. So, you know, I understand that many folks in the community may be confused about things. There's a lot of misinformation that's out there. And I just would encourage people, as was discussed this evening, come to these meetings. Come to a finance subcommittee meeting. If you can't make a finance subcommittee meeting because of the time that they're scheduled, well, let us know. And if there are enough people that want to attend those, we can change those times so that we do accommodate people who want to attend those meetings. That's where a lot of these decisions are first discussed and then ultimately brought to the school committee. You know, it's a process, and we want to be transparent. We're not hiding anything in terms of the cuts that we made. Come to the meetings. Reach out to my office. Reach out to Mr. Perrier's office. I have no problem sitting down. I had a conversation with Mrs. Bubble, about an hour conversation. Provided her with a lot of information. She asked some really good questions. I'm not trying to hide from people. We're not trying to duck people. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chairman, just one more question too. Are we going into the final year of our 3-year contract this year?
Yes, we are, Mr. Vice Chairman. This is, negotiations will be right around the corner. We typically start them in the fall, early winter, and that usually stretches along for a little while as we try to wrap that up. So yes, that is on our agenda as well.
And what's the final percentage this year?
It's 4% this
4%,
year.
yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
The last thing I want to say about the budget and next year, some folks, I think, confuse the budget, the operating budget, with the funds that were provided by the state and federally to build a new school. We've gotten, can we use that money to fix things? Can we fix the existing schools? Can we use that to do repairs so that we could improve existing buildings? And the answer is no. We were told outright, you close 3 buildings and you build one, you will get funds. At over 90%, I think it's 93% reimbursement. So there was no choice in terms of taking money from one pocket, the state pocket, and putting it into our operating budget. And we've been saying this now for years. And we will continue to say that because I still think there's confusion out there as to what can be used with that money. And that money cannot be used for our operations, because if we could, my God, wouldn't that have been a boon? We could have had all this extra money for years now, but that's not how it works. You build, you get the money. You don't build, you don't get a dime. So I want to make sure we underline that again, which will be underlined, I'm sure, more than just tonight. Anyone else? Then I'll make a motion to receive and place on file the financial update. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Leclerc, Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The first item in unfinished business, this is a discussion approval of bid 26-17 tire changing machine. Now, this was tabled at the previous meeting because we needed more information. So I'll make a motion to remove this agenda item from the table. Do we have a second?
Second.
second by Mrs. Costa. Dr. McGee, roll call, please.
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke.
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus.
Yes.
Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
And so before us is the discussion approval of bid 26-17, the tire changing machine. So I'll make the motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Mr. Perrier.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In front of the school committee is the bid for 26-17, a tire changing machine. We had to go back and recompile the bids. After recompiling the bids, 2 vendors responded, and the winner is Lift Now Automotive Equipment Corporation at $11,393. This will be funded from categorical career and tech funds.
Any questions? Dr. McGee.
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke.
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus.
Yes.
Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Second item was also tabled last time because we needed more information. So I'll make a motion to remove from the table a discussion approval on bid 26-18, diagnostic scanner. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. On the tabling, Dr. McGee, roll call, please.
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke.
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus.
Yes.
Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Now I'll make a motion to discuss and approve bid 26-18, diagnostic scanner. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Mr. Perrier.
So the same thing happened here with this bid. We went back and recompiled the information that we received from the vendors. So bid 2618 diagnostic scanner. We did receive 2 bids. The winning bid was Lift Now Automotive Equipment Corp. For $4,294. This too will be paid by categorical funds from Career and Tech.
Any questions, comments? Nope. Dr. McGee.
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke.
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus.
Yes.
Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
New business. I'll make a motion to discuss and approve amendments to the education of students experiencing homeless policy. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Do I turn it over to you, Mrs. Kepiscus?
It's up to you. Do you want to speak?
No.
I believe we reviewed what this policy is about when I presented my policy subcommittee report at our last meeting. But essentially what it is there are new changes to the regulations federally, and therefore we have to adjust our policy accordingly in anticipation of an audit we're expecting will occur in the fall to make sure that our policy complies with the federal regulations. So those are the amendments that were made, nothing really substantive that changed, just the way things are titled. And even with that, we deviated from some of the language that the federal regulations use because it would cause confusion.
Any questions, comments? Dr. McGee?
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke.
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus.
Yes.
Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Next, I'll make a motion to discuss, approve the Child Nutrition Program Procurement Code of Conduct Policy for first passage. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Mrs. Kepiscus?
Again, it's something that I presented in the policy subcommittee report. This is a mandated policy, which we must have, that RIDE audited us and dinged us because we didn't have it. It's to make sure we're checking the sources from which we're obtaining things from the child nutrition program, and that we're not being bribed to enter into certain contracts. And as Mr. Perea indicated at our last meeting when we discussed it, he's the only one that does the procurement, so he's the only one that would be getting bribes, and he assured us he's not. So, but we're still required to have that policy, and that is why it is before us tonight.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
Just one thing to add, this is first passage because
Yes.
it's a new policy. We'll be back voting on
Next
it
time.
again in July.
Correct. Any questions, comments? Dr. McGee?
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke.
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus.
Yes.
Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Next, I'll make a motion to discuss, approve the Rhode Island Department of Education statewide bond/pay-as-you-go memorandum of agreement. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Mr. Perrier?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is just an extension of the current bond we already signed off on. The paperwork actually expires June 30th of this year. This is just an extension for the money that we're receiving for the construction of the new school. There's no change in the funding. There's no change in the dollar amount. It is merely just an extension of time.
Any questions, comments? This is, we will be signing this tonight, all of us. Dr. McGee?
You got a question?
I
Any
just have
questions?
one question.
Sure.
Extension of time, that doesn't mean we're delayed in anticipation.
Oh, no, it's extending the grant life of it. That's all it's doing here, because technically it ends June 30th. No one's pulling any funding back at this point. It's really just kind of a bookkeeping update to make sure that we are extended out so we can continue to receive reimbursement.
I suspected that was the case, but I just want to clarify for anybody who might be listening as a member of the public.
Perfect.
Anyone else? Dr. McGee?
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke,
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus,
Yes, and I'm sorry I interrupted you.
that's okay. Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Having no other items on our agenda, I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:55 PM. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 We are adjourned. And please